I wanted to ask you about Josh Ellison too.
Yeah, he's a
Um,
monster.
I mean, is he not a monster?
Monster.
Like,
Yeah, and that's who, like, all offseason, all spring, we heard about him from the coaching staff. Like, Josh Ellison has come in and made a big difference. And then doing the Players Club, like having Derek Hunter come in and Hank Pierce. We've had a couple of defensive linemen come in, Cormonte Hamilton as well, and we've talked to them about the defensive linemen and in particular Josh. Like, I think I've asked all of them about Josh off camera, and they've all just rave reviews about Josh and what he does and what he brings. And he's another guy that's made a big impact. Like, we've seen these guys that they brought in this offseason are really contributing to how – and I know it doesn't necessarily look like this defense has improved if you look at the last two games from a points perspective. But, like,
they've
what they
improved.
did, they're definitely improved. And what they did in the second half, like, they allowed, 15 points?
Right.
And really they only allowed a touchdown, that second touchdown, and whatever. Like I said, the game was pretty much already decided at that point. Like, this is a good unit. They are a good group. Are really the pillars of the defense.
Yeah. No, definitely. It definitely feels like, Jeff's play that he made. I know it was on special teams, but he makes plays all over the field when he's playing. When he's on the defensive side of the ball. But it feels like Jeff and Chandler and Josh are really just at this point, alongside Jalen Allen, are kind of the anchors of this defense in terms of
Simeon's another guy that's played really well.
Yeah. No, without a doubt. I mean, it's definitely, and I agree with you. I think you can look at what a team like Navy did on the ground, or you could look at what a team like Missouri did in the air, with a guy like Luther Burden and Brady Cook, and you go, man, those numbers just aren't great. But if you're watching the game and you're seeing kind of what's going on out there, it's very clear that this defense is much better than it has been in the last multitude of years, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're just I haven't seen a guy, I started this off by mentioning Josh Ellison. I haven't seen a guy like a defensive lineman for the Tigers create so much havoc, especially an interior defensive lineman for the Tigers. Have you ever, when's the last time we saw a guy that was able to, a guy like Josh Ellison, who played an interior defensive lineman position, just create so much havoc, not just on rushing the quarterback, but also getting in the backfield during run plays? Like, it just feels very different. It looks very different to me.
Oh, well, I can't think of the guy's name that I'm thinking about, and I don't know why. He went to South Panola. He was undersized defensive tackle.
Oh, you talking about
I can see his face right now.
O'Brien?
O'Brien Goodson.
O'Brien Goodson? Yeah.
But and O'Brien was a very good player, but there's a difference with Josh Ellison just with the size. Like, the size makes a huge difference. A guy that's 6'4", 300 pounds is way different than OB, who was, just really good at leverage and just had a really good motor. He wasn't a physical specimen by any means. So, I don't know.
Maybe
Josh,
Bryce Huff.
yeah, but
Even though Bryce
a
was coming
defensive
outside.
end.
Yeah,
Defensive end. Just
Yeah.
interior defensive linemen, they've been so undersized, at least since I've been covering the team, that there hasn't been a true, game wrecker that they've had. And I know they had Cam Jackson last year, but he was kind of an up and down roller coaster of, if he wanted to make those big plays, he would. And then there was times where he wasn't necessarily giving you much. So,
Yeah.
to me, Josh is the best interior defensive lineman they've had in quite some time. He had 2 tackles for loss this game, was another big reason why they couldn't get the run game going.
Yeah, no doubt. It was impressive.